Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast. The good.
That's okay. That's good. That's all right. That's okay.
Okay, give us your good for the week 6.
The Los Angeles Rams. I think that's my good for this week. They did what they needed to do. They looked good. Cooper Kupp looks like he's back to his old self.
Crazy.
Stafford Kupp connection is just beautiful to watch. They ran all over the Cardinals too. I forget his first name, but Williams there. He had 126 yards rushing. Their defense looks good. Now, granted, the Cardinals' offense doesn't look good. And they're not a good football team, but my good mainly is Cooper Kupp looking back to his old self.
Yeah.
And that's what I would be excited about if I was a Rams fan right now, is that Cooper Kupp is looking like his before injury self, and that got to be encouraging because that Kupp Stafford connection is just special.
Yeah, do you think the Rams are a playoff team? They're 3-3 right now.
I don't see why not. I mean, in the NFC, really. I mean, you got the Niners when fully healthy. Maybe the Eagles. Not maybe the Eagles, but the Eagles. Yeah, I don't see why the Rams couldn't make the playoffs. It's not like they're in the world's toughest division. There's no really tough divisions in the NFC, in my opinion. So
I'm curious to see what the Niners do bounce back. This was their first loss, and we're all going to overreact a little bit to it. So I'm still like, okay, maybe they're still a dominant team. They just had a fluke game. The Eagles have been a little concerning all year. They just don't look like they did last year. So I'm with you on the Eagles. Like, I'm not like super concerned about them. Just so I got the Kyren Williams stats. I just want to make a correction. He had 158 yards. He averaged 8. You said 126, and I just want to make sure that we get that. He averaged 8 yards a carry. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's sorry. Yeah, that's.
No. I don't want anybody commenting on the video being like, dude, you don't even know how many yards. It was an honest mistake, but I just wanted to clarify that. I agree with you on Cooper Kupp. He looks amazing. Him and Stafford still has that connection, and you have Poku to that as well, who had 4 receptions. He didn't have a great game, but he was fine. I just really like this Rams team. I think they're going to be like in the playoff mix when it's all said and done. So it was good for the Rams.
And I want to know the NFC team people could see that could boot them out of not boot them out of the playoffs, but say that, oh, for sure they're making it over. There's like 2 teams in the NFC, and obviously someone in the South has to win the division, and the Lions should win the North if they keep playing like this. Why couldn't the Rams make the playoffs this year?
Yeah, you're right. There's basically like probably 2 teams for sure going to make it, and then probably 2 others, and then you have the whoever comes out of the South. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. My good. I'm going to go with the Jaguars as a good. They beat up on an opponent that they turned. I think Gardner Minshew forgot what team jersey he was throwing to. He ended up throwing 3 interceptions to the Jags. He used to be a Jaguar, so it makes sense. But the reason why I didn't put him in our grade, even though they won by 17, is they kind of just, I don't know, like the what are they? The Colts outgained them in yards. They did better than the Jaguars. The Jaguars didn't do a real good job running the ball, only 3 yards a carry. Lawrence only had 181 yards passing. His QBR was 51.6. Like, they didn't play very good, all things considered, but they destroyed their opponent, who's a weaker opponent. So that's why I have the Jaguars as a good, because sometimes you just kind of have to win that way, and they did. So Jaguars are in my good. They seem to be back on track. They're now 4-2 after their slow start.
Well, here's something that I've noticed in the past, and maybe I'm wrong, but usually when a team gets the ball on short fields all the time, they tend not to put up a lot of yards because how can they when they only have 30 yards to go for a touchdown? And then, of course, when you get up big, then you start, you play much more conservative on offense. I hate it, but coaches do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I notice when there's a lot of turnovers and stuff like that, the stat numbers for the other team are down more because they don't have to travel as far. So I don't know if it's more of, I mean, the yards per carry, I think, has been a little concerning for the Jaguars because I don't feel like they put up a lot of yards per carry overall this season. I have an ATNE as my fantasy running back.
Oh, ETN, okay.
Yeah, so I keep it, like, obviously I watch him a little closer because of that. But I don't think they do a lot of, like, I feel like they get more explosive runs than they get on, like, good, like, chunk plays, 4 or 5 yards here a piece, So, but in the end, they beat up an inferior team by a lot, and that's what you need them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest concern with them this week was they're not in London, and that's when they won their 2 games. So,
right, yeah.
They're back home. They still did well. So in the end, Jaguars did a really good job this week.
Yeah, they did good. Yeah. It was still a dominant performance, but when you can dominate a team without putting up, like, what's his name? Dolphin type numbers, that's good. That's good. So, yeah, for real. You ready to go on to the bad?
Oh, yes, I am.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.